What is happening, YouTube? Do this real quick. I'm going to set up Facebook also. That way I can get both going at the same time. I need to get something to hold this, I think. What is happening, Facebook? So now I've got Facebook right here, and I've got YouTube right here. I'm going to try to keep looking at you, right? So if you're watching, hit me with a like or a question or something along those lines. I need the interaction, right? We all do. We all need interaction. So I know yesterday I came on, talked a little bit about wellness, and kind of gave you some tips and strategies to look at. I don't know where I'm looking. Where should I look? But some things to start looking at, as we're battling this. Tennessee actually just less than an hour ago hit the statewide shelter-in-place order, finally, in my opinion. Finally, it was a little late, but it's there. And it's going to be for 2 weeks. I think it's a good idea, honestly. I think the financial impact is going to be tough. It's going to be felt by a lot of folks. And I'm sympathetic to that because it's tough. But I don't think you can really compare that to human lives. So I think it was a good idea. We'll see. We'll see how many people actually really adhere to it. But needless to say, I'm going to keep coming on here daily, at least as much as I can, maybe at least Monday through Friday. We might do one on the weekends. My kids love going live. So they absolutely love going live on Facebook, on our Facebook channel, doing those daily workouts, which I think if you've got kids, especially the kids 12 and under, 10 and under, I think it's a really good thing if you bring them along. There's a lot of folks out doing workouts for kids, and I think it's awesome. Find one that works for you. I personally like the style that we do it. I'm biased, of course, but I know that kids of that age generally have an attention span that is very, very short. So keeping it that 10 to 15 minute range usually is the best. Throwing in some games or something fun where they can laugh while you're doing it, I think is really, really important. So I want to talk about that. Obviously, want you to keep checking us out, right? Keep watching the videos. That helps quite a bit. We really wanted to see how everybody was doing today. If you've got questions, you've got concerns, comments, I might turn a lot of these just into a kind of a discussion, an FAQ. If you've got questions. I mean, yesterday we talked a lot about sleep, stress mitigation, finding some kind of outlet during these times, and really enjoying the sun. That's huge. The first couple of weeks of this, at least where I am, it rained. I almost said it snowed. It rained almost every day, and it's so hard to get outside and enjoy the sun. And getting that sunlight will help so much. If you're just now joining us, I've got YouTube and Facebook both going, so I'm looking back and forth, trying to multitask here. But yeah, enjoying the sun is so important, right? It's so important getting that vitamin D. If you can't obviously get enough sunlight, then yes, supplement with vitamin D. But get outside in the sun, please. So to that end, Ice Cube, sorry. One of the things I wanted to kind of start a little bit of a discussion about today is when we're combating stress, as we talked about yesterday, we keep hearing these statements of control what you can control. Don't worry about the things that you can't control, right? We've all heard that statement before. And I think now it is so important because we've got to be able to control what we can control to lower our stress levels, um, especially as we're trying to stay healthy in whatever kind of environment you're in. We're trying to stay healthy. So we really need to um, stay as healthy as we can. So, how do we do that? Lower the stress. So, one of the number one things you can do is get movement and sleep, right? And then the third thing is, what do you think? Can anybody guess? Anybody type in, leave a comment what the third thing is? So we've got sleep. It's probably the most important, honestly. Sufficient rest, consistent rest. Number two, movement, right? Getting some kind of movement every day. Okay. Almost, Cheryl, you're on the right track. It is water, but it's part of something even bigger than just water. But getting some kind of movement every day, right? Whether it be flexibility or a little bit of strength training, a little bit of everything for 5 to 10 minutes. Gosh, it's so important. Third component is nutrition, right? So water, huge component of that. You have to be drinking your water. Okay, we've got to stay hydrated, right? It's so easy because you can control that. And how do you stay hydrated? Well, the goal would be to drink half your body weight in ounces every day, right? So however much you weigh, shoot for half of that in ounces. So if you weigh, I don't know, like 200 pounds, it's 100 ounces. That's a good way of determining how much water you need. Now, if you're drinking zero, right? If you're not drinking any water, don't go to 100, please, because I mean, conveniently you're at home, so you can get to the bathroom anytime, but you'll be going to the bathroom all the time. So definitely focus on the water. Two other components: protein, vegetables, good carbs, good fat, managing that nutrition. I talked yesterday about not overdoing it in a caloric deficit. So not stressing about trying to lose weight in this time. Okay. A lot of people will think, oh, I'm at home and I can eat a little bit better. So I'm going to try to go on a diet and I'm going to try to lose a bunch of weight, right? In theory, that's good. And in theory, that's not a bad idea. Okay. But what happens when you try to lose weight? Your stress levels increase. Okay. And adding that on top of all the other stress that you're dealing with, known or unknown, not always a good thing. Okay. So we really need to keep the stress levels down. So be careful about going into a caloric deficit. Okay. Because again, you're on a deficit for a long time. You're depriving yourself of food and you can't get outside. You can't go somewhere to get some interaction with different folks. What happens? You find yourself in the pantry late at night eating all the chips or the cookies or whatever because you're craving it really bad because you don't have anything else to do. Okay. So just be careful with going into a severe caloric deficit. But yes, maximizing the vegetables, maximizing the protein are two things that I absolutely want you to do. It's going to help with your stress. I promise. I promise. This is the time, these next, however long this lasts, right? This is an opportune time to really evaluate where you are with your health and wellness. It really is. And trying to understand what works really well for you. We know that to lose weight, it's all about caloric deficit. Okay. The science is pretty clear. It is all about a caloric deficit. How you get there can be very individualized. So for example, the science is pretty cut and dry. Okay. We need to address our protein intake and our caloric intake first. You need to be eating enough protein. We need to be eating enough calories to sustain what you need to function. After that, your your fats and your carbs, it doesn't matter. Right now, if you're diabetic, there's other situations to address, absolutely, and I would address that with your physician. But for the most part, for most of us, your fat and carbohydrate intake, match it up to your preference. Please don't feel like you have to go super low carb or high fat or vice versa. Okay, fit what works for you. Well, yes, absolutely. You want gains? Yes, jack that protein up. I saw a good study earlier this week. They took, and it was a really neat study. It was I think it was a 3-year long study, and they took individuals and separated them into 2 groups. Now, I think I think the study size was small. So there's things we can grasp from this, but it's not conclusive, of course. But they had both sets on a caloric deficit for 3 years, right? I think there were some maintenance periods in there, but one group, it was a gram of protein per pound of lean body mass. Okay, and they had it. That was their intake every day. The other group ate 3 grams per pound of lean body mass. Okay. So think about that. I mean, think about that. That's a lot of protein. That is a lot of protein. For me, I mean, I get about 220 grams usually a day. For me, that'd be over 300, 400 grams, I think. I haven't done the math. No, it'd be more than that. An insane amount. What they saw after the 3 years, number one, these were all healthy individuals, right? No pre-existing conditions. So no issues, right, from a medical standpoint. But what they also saw was the people with the 3 grams of protein per pound of lean body mass, they had virtually no loss of lean muscle mass. The one gram did lose some lean muscle mass, which you would expect on a caloric deficit anyway. My point is, as Brandy said and Cheryl said earlier, focus on the protein this time is going to be really good. I had a question earlier. One of my good friends asked me to talk about intermittent fasting, so that's kind of where all this is leading to. Intermittent fasting is wonderful if you're trying to lose weight. Here's why. We know that losing weight, you need to be in a caloric deficit, right? Well, yes, eat all the protein, all the chicken, the beef, the fish. Yes, eat all the whey protein. I've got some right here right now. Intermittent fasting works because it puts you in a caloric deficit. There's nothing special about it. Okay? Nothing special. But it's easier to get into a caloric deficit if you're intermittent fasting. Okay? That's all it is. When I am trying to lose weight, I go into I intermittent fast. I don't like eating breakfast all the time, so I intermittent fast. It works for me. It doesn't work for a lot of folks, but it does work for some. So by getting into or by utilizing intermittent fasting, you are putting yourself in a caloric deficit pretty easily. So hopefully that answers that question. I'm happy to go into it in more detail if you'd like, but it's a great tool in the toolbox. But there's nothing special or magical about it. But even with that said, like I said earlier, refer back to what I said earlier. Be careful about getting into a severe caloric deficit right now and adding stress onto our already stressful situation. Please, okay? Because right now we need to keep our immune systems healthy. And the best way to do that is to keep your stress levels as low as possible, Okay, there's no magic pill that's going to boost your immune system. Don't waste your money on stuff like that. If you want to spend money, I don't know, donate it to some charities. Does anybody have any questions as I'm rambling on a little bit? Just want to make sure that really I'm just touching base with everybody and, kind of keeping up the communication and just addressing what you all need. My feed just my YouTube feed just shut down on me. Let's see here. There we go. It's hard to concentrate on both of these. You got YouTube and Facebook. YouTube keeps pausing. So over here, I'm seeing myself move, and on YouTube, it's like pausing every few seconds. Questions? Anybody have any questions? Yeah. Well, yeah. So right now, I put something on my personal page yesterday. There's a lot of home gym workouts right now, right? There's a lot of home workouts. If you are interested in one, I've got you, right? I write programs. That's what I do. If you've got a gym, a home gym, workout at home, I can do that, right? And it's all in an app. So you see everything on an app. It also has communication. So it's basically like having me on text message every day, bam, telling you what to do. But there's a lot of things that you can do at home, okay? One thing that I would not do, because I hate them, I am proudly team no burpees. I don't like burpees. I made a post about that yesterday on my personal page. I don't like burpees. The risk-reward ratio is just terrible for something like that. I see a lot of people get hurt doing them. You need wrist flexibility. You need hip flexibility. And then also really you look at what's the point? Like, what is your goal? What's your goal? Is it to get stronger? Most people just need to get stronger, right? Burpee's not going to really help you get stronger. Let's do some bodyweight squats. Grab a kid, do some squats with them. You need to strengthen your midsection, right? Your core. There's plenty of better exercises to do. Do you need to get a sweat going? Well, there's plenty of exercises that can do that in a safer environment, right? Go out for a jog, walk, jumping jacks, plenty of things. Okay. So mountain climbers are great. All exercises that don't involve so many different moving parts. Okay. And I'm seeing a lot of home workouts being prescribed right now with all of these not well thought out exercises, right? Not thought through, because we don't want to just work out. I want you moving, but I want you to have a plan, right? Yeah. If you're not used to working out at home, like my gym's in my basement, so I'm lucky. But yeah, they're not the same if you're used to going to a gym. Brandy, I know. Yeah, trust me. I get it. Totally understand that. Just pick good exercises, right? Anybody else got questions or have questions? Anybody got? See, I've been with my kids, and my grammar is going downhill, which is not very good, because you would think, I know, you would think I'd be speaking better because I am teaching my children. But if there aren't any other questions, I will hit the finish button. But if you've got questions, I'm happy to stay on here for a few more minutes before I go outside with my kids. Really, just practice taking care of yourself. This is a great opportunity when we're all confined to our general vicinity. to start really taking care of yourself, right? We know that the more health conditions that we have, the more susceptible we are to this coronavirus, right? Um, and that's not to say that there are plenty of healthy people that are getting it, right? Plenty of healthy people that are getting it. There are some that have passed away and they were perfectly healthy. Okay. So I'm not saying you're not going to get it if you're working out, but in the same breath, do everything you can to keep yourself as healthy as possible. I'm here to help if you need it. Okay. So go give somebody a hug, go grab your kids, give them a hug, or your dog, or that's about all you got. Or a spouse, obviously, if you get a spouse or somebody that's with you, don't go find somebody on the street. Stay 6 feet away. And if you see me out walking, I'll give you a high five from across the street. I love y'all. And you've got more questions, you can save them and ask me tomorrow, or you can type them in below and I will answer them. Have a great rest of the day. I'll talk to y'all later. See you, YouTube. What is happening, Facebook? So I've got Facebook right here and I've got YouTube right here. I'm going to try to